heard, but what you saw.
What your parents or guardians did with money.
Exactly. How did they behave? Were they savers, spenders? Did they invest? Were they afraid of risk? Was money talked about easily, or was it always a source of arguments and stress?
It's that unconscious imitation again, isn't it? Like you just pick things up without realizing.
Totally. The sources have that funny story about the ham.
Oh yeah, cutting the ends off.
Right. For generations, the family cut the ends off the ham before baking it. Turns out, great-grandma only did it because her pan was too small.
But everyone else just copied the action without asking why.
It perfectly illustrates how we absorb behaviors. The author shares their own experience mirroring their father's financial pattern, making money in real estate, then losing it quickly. Boom and bust.
They just repeated the cycle unconsciously.
Until they became aware of it.
Right.
Now, there's also a flip side to modeling mentioned.
Rebelling. Doing the complete opposite.
Exactly. Maybe your parents were really frugal, so you become a big spender, or they struggled, so you're driven to be rich, almost out of anger or resentment.
Like, I'll show them, or I'll never be like that.
But that can be tricky too. If your main drive for wealth is rooted in anger or fear, your subconscious links money to those negative feelings.
Oh, I see. So as you get more money,
The underlying anger or fear might actually increase, and eventually your subconscious, which just wants peace, might kind of sabotage you, make bad decisions, spend recklessly, anything to get rid of the money that's tied to the bad feeling.
that's a really interesting and kind of scary thought. So the goal is to unlink money from anger and fear.
And link it instead to positive motivations, like purpose, contribution, joy, freedom, things like that.
Makes sense. Okay, so verbal programming, modeling,
Mm.
was the third way we get conditioned.
The third is specific incidents. These are particular, often emotionally charged experiences you had around money when you were young.
Like a specific memory.
Yeah. The example given is the author's wife. As a kid, she'd hear the ice cream truck, run to her mom for money, get the ice cream, and feel immediate joy.
So money got hardwired to pleasure. Instant gratification.
Right. But the author's own conditioning linked money more to freedom, the ability to do things later.
Ah, so that caused conflict in their marriage. Different spending habits.
Exactly. She wanted the pleasure now, he wanted the freedom later. Their different emotional meanings attached to money created friction.
So what do you do about that? Especially in a relationship.
The suggestion is for partners to actually talk about this stuff. Do an exercise together. Uncover your individual money histories. Figure out what money means emotionally to each of you. Is it security, status, pleasure, freedom, love?
And then try to create a shared blueprint.
Yeah.
New rules that work for both.
Yeah. Consciously design how you'll handle money together, respecting those different meanings, but finding common ground.
And how do you change the impact of those past incidents on yourself?
It follows a similar pattern to the verbal programming. Awareness. Recall the specific incident and the feelings around it. Understanding. See how that single event might still be influencing your choices today. Disassociation. Recognize it was a past learning experience, not who you are now.
And then the declaration step again.
Right. Hand on heart. I release my non-supportive money experiences from the past and create a new and rich future. Touch it. I have a millionaire mind. Reinforcing the change.
Okay, so by looking at what we heard, what we saw, and what we experienced, we can start to decode our own blueprint. Understand why our financial thermostat is set where it is.
And the really empowering part is the message that it's not fixed. You can consciously choose to reprogram it.
Which leads us to the next big idea.
Yeah,
Actively changing your thinking. Installing new wealth files, as the sources call them.
exactly. The core premise is that rich people simply think differently about money, wealth, and success than poor or middle-class people do. And these different ways of thinking, these wealth files, are learnable. You can choose to adopt them.
Okay, let's dive into some of these key files or distinctions. What's a major one?
A big one is, rich people play the money game to win. Poor people play not to lose.
Play to win versus play not to lose. What's the difference?
Playing to win means your goal is big wealth, abundance, being truly rich. It's offensive strategy. Playing not to lose means your primary goal is just survival, or maybe comfort and security. It's defensive.
Just trying to avoid running out of money rather than aiming for massive growth.
Right. So, to play to win, the sources say you need clear, specific, and frankly ambitious goals for your income and your net worth. Aim high.
And they had that slightly uncomfortable action item for this one.
Yeah, ordering something market price at a nice restaurant without checking the price first, just to stretch that comfort zone around security.
definitely pushes a button for many people.
Uh-huh.
Wait, what's another key file?
This one's about intensity. Rich people are committed to being rich. Poor people want to be rich.
Wanting versus commitment. Sounds subtle, but I guess it's huge.
It's presented as a massive difference. Billions want to be rich, right? But wanting is passive. Commitment means you're willing to do whatever it takes legally, morally, ethically, of course, to achieve your goal. It's an active, unwavering dedication.
No reservations. All in.
That's the idea. If you're not fully committed, obstacles will stop you.
Okay, commitment. What else? How do they think differently about measuring wealth?
Rich people focus on net worth. Poor and middle-class people tend to focus only on their working income, their salary.
But income alone isn't wealth.
Not according to this.
Yeah.
Net worth is the real measure. That's everything you own your assets minus everything you owe your liabilities.
Okay.
And there are 4 factors that drive net worth. Income, both working and passive. Savings, investments, and simplification.
Simplification. Like spending less?
Exactly. Actively decreasing your cost of living so you have more to save and invest. Most people just focus on income, but then they hit Parkinson's law.
Parkinson's law.
Yeah,
Expenses rise to meet income.
you got it. You get a raise, you spend more. It doesn't automatically build wealth unless you manage it. Rich people focus on acquiring assets, things that go up in value or produce income, like real estate or stocks. Poor people tend to buy expenses or things that depreciate, like cars or gadgets, often funded by debt.
So the action here is actually track your net worth. Know the number.
Yes, track it regularly. And consciously work on all 4 factors: increasing income, saving more, investing wisely, and simplifying your lifestyle. Maybe look into real estate investing, as the author's parents did successfully.
Okay, that makes sense. And managing the money you do have seems critical too.
Absolutely. That's another wealth file. Rich people manage their money well. Poor people mismanage it or avoid it altogether.
Why is managing so important even if you don't have much yet?
The principle stated is powerful. Until you show the universe or yourself or whatever you believe in that you can handle what you've already got, you won't get more.
Like the kid in the ice cream cone. If they drop the single scoop.
You're not going to trust them with a triple scoop, right? The habit of managing money is deemed more important than the amount you're managing initially.
So what kind of system do they suggest?
A specific one using multiple accounts. A key one is the financial freedom account money that is only for investing, for buying assets that generate passive income. Never spent, only invested.
Okay, for building wealth.
But there's another interesting one, the play account.
Play. Like fun money.
Exactly. A certain percentage goes into this account, and the rule is you must spend it every single month on things that make you feel pampered, luxurious, rich.
That sounds counterintuitive to saving.
It does, but the rationale is twofold. 1, it makes the whole process more enjoyable, less about deprivation. 2, it strengthens your receiving muscle. It helps you feel comfortable having and spending money on yourself